Imagine it, one silent, impossible moment when the entire planet suddenly stops turning. 5 seconds. That's all it takes to change everything we know about life on Earth. Right now, as you listen, the ground beneath your feet is moving faster than a speeding bullet. At the equator, the Earth spins at over 1,600 kilometers per hour, yet we don't feel it. Every ocean wave, every gust of wind, every living creature, all part of this graceful, ancient motion that has carried us through space for over 4.5 billion years. But what if, for just 5 seconds, that spin came to a halt? The first thing to understand is that while the planet might stop, the atmosphere would not. Air, water, and everything not firmly anchored to the crust would keep moving eastward at tremendous speed. The result would be beyond catastrophic. Hurricane-force winds would instantly tear across the planet, flattening everything in their path. Entire forests would be uprooted. Oceans would surge out of their basins, creating waves hundreds of meters high that crash into continents with unimaginable power. Every city near a coastline would be swept away within seconds. Inland, the destruction would be no less severe. Buildings, vehicles, even people, all hurled across the landscape by the sheer inertia of motion. Mountains might stand firm, but everything else would be chaos. After those 5 seconds, the planet begins to spin again, but it's too late. The damage is irreversible. The atmosphere is shredded, the oceans displaced, the land scarred by forces no structure could withstand. But the destruction on the surface would only be part of the story. Deep beneath our feet, the sudden jolt would ripple through the mantle and core. Massive earthquakes would tear open the crust, volcanoes would erupt as internal pressure builds, and the planet's magnetic field, generated by the movement of molten iron in the core, could flicker or even collapse. Without that invisible shield, the Earth would be exposed to deadly solar radiation. Now, imagine the world that follows. Skies filled with dust and ash. Seasons no longer predictable. Ocean currents broken. The climate system, the very engine that makes Earth habitable, thrown into chaos. But to truly understand what's at stake, we must look back, to the moment Earth first began to spin. Billions of years ago, in the chaos of the early solar system, our young planet was bombarded by asteroids and debris. One massive collision, with a Mars-sized body we now call Theia, not only tilted the Earth on its axis, giving us our seasons, but also helped set our rotation in motion. Since then, that spin has slowed very slightly over billions of years, but it has never stopped. It's this constant motion that shapes our days and nights, our weather, and even the life rhythms of every living thing. If it were to stop suddenly, even for 5 seconds, that harmony would collapse. The consequences wouldn't just be physical, they'd be societal. Communication systems, satellites, and power grids would be destroyed. GPS networks would fail, electricity would vanish, and within hours, human civilization would fall silent. The global economy, transport, even simple navigation, all depend on a spinning Earth. And yet, what if the planet didn't stop instantly, but instead slowed gradually over time? This alternate scenario might sound less dramatic, but it would be equally devastating. A slower rotation means longer days and nights. Temperatures would soar during endless days and plummet to freezing during nights that last weeks. Wind patterns would shift, destroying agriculture. The moon would drift farther away, tides would weaken, and Earth's climate could spiral into extremes of fire and ice. Even our sense of time, the rhythm of human life, would be lost. But let's be clear, in reality, nothing could stop Earth's spin without unimaginable external force. It would take an impact with another planet-sized body, or an event so vast it would likely tear the Earth apart entirely. The laws of physics themselves protect our rotation, inertia is relentless. Still, the thought experiment reveals something profound. We often think of our planet as stable, unmoving, solid. Yet our lives depend on motion, the silent, invisible rotation that creates the rising of the sun, the breath of the wind, the pulse of the tides. So the next time you gaze at the night sky, remember, you're not standing still. You're moving at incredible speed, spinning with billions of others on a fragile sphere of rock and water, orbiting a star that itself races through the galaxy. 5 seconds of stillness would destroy the world. But billions of years of motion have sustained it, and us. Perhaps that's the real lesson. That balance, motion, and time are the quiet miracles that make our existence possible. And as long as the Earth keeps turning, life continues its beautiful dance through the endless dark of space.